I'm excellent, actually.
Awesome. It's a wonderful, kind of maybe overcast, cold, actually fall day here in Preston.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your business and what you're doing here.
Well, this is Vic and Ease, as you see, the bra fitting specialists. This actually is a family-owned business. My wife runs it, and I do the mechanical and real estate side of it. The namesake actually is named after our two daughters, Victoria and Stephanie. There you go with your Vic and Ease.
Got
it. So my wife, though, has been in the business for verging on 30 years, actually, but she opened Vic and Ease itself 10 years ago. Actually, 10 years ago today.
Really?
In Guelph.
Okay.
It's our 10-year anniversary. And then after 2 years of doing very well in Guelph, opened in Kitchener. Then just 2 years ago, we've opened here in Cambridge. So what brings us to Cambridge is it's our hometown. She's a Galt girl and I'm a Preston boy.
Right.
And so this is our home. So that brings it onto our radar in the first place.
Right. How long have you been here?
2 years
in this
now.
building? Yeah.
Yes. And in selecting King Street, part of the reasoning behind that is we find that King Street in Preston, as you can see, is busy but not too busy. So it's we find there's always parking spaces.
The right blend of busy but not
it's
overwhelmingly so.
It's not that you can't find a parking spot. You can
Right.
always find a parking spot, particularly with parking out the back. And that's actually been of issue before, where there was thought where the city was going to put in meters.
Right.
Definitely a problem for the businesses when people don't have to pay to go to the mall or the strip plazas.
Yes. We hear that routinely.
Well, it's a real factor, and it was a large part of the decision making.
Right.
Another part of the decision making was whether we could do this awning that you see right in front of you. This is a match to our awning that we have in the city of Guelph. And so actually before we've purchased the building
Right.
and put the business in. And
Part of your brand.
Yes, it is. So actually before buying the building, we asked the question of the city, can we put this awning out? And it was quite simple because we could show a picture of the way this building currently was and show a picture of the way our Guelph building looks. So very easy to see what the finished product was going to look like. City of Cambridge did like the idea and actually became part of the there's a downtown improvement
BIA, or Business Improvement Area.
Well, yes, but there's actually a specific program where the City of Cambridge was assisting with financing to refurbish front.
Yes,
It's actually downtown improvement project. So it definitely fell into that where I could get the assistance to actually take the whole storefront off of this. So the vestibule you see is new, as well as the awning coming out. Of interest, I checked the City of Cambridge quite nicely. Actually, worked with me and the region, King Street being a regional road.
Yes.
City of Cambridge storefronts. So, City of Cambridge signed bylaw.
Yes.
Regional Waterloo encroachment agreement.
Right.
So our posts are actually sitting on Region of Waterloo property.
You've learned a lot about our municipal government.
Certainly did,
in one
yes.
project.
So before buying the building, I asked these questions, got the yeses and the ABCs of what I needed to do.
Right.
Away I went in doing that and got 3/4 of the way done after buying the building, and then got told by the region, no, you can't do that, that's against our bylaw. So obviously that was a problem.
Conflicting bylaws between the two tiers of government?
Conflicting perspectives of the bylaw, actually, the way it's being read.
Right.
I'm missing the word that I'm looking for, but when you read something, one
point.
person
Yeah.
reads one thing, and interpretation is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And so thankfully, because I had done all the original questions via email and saved them all,
Yes.
that was then ultimately came into an exception. But I found it a little bit surreal that one level of government, the city, was actually willing to assist in funding for the project,
Right.
and another level of government says, no, you can't do that, that's against the law.
Right.
So, like I say, a little surreal to be dealing with that, but ultimately it's done, and we've had nothing but positive feedback from our neighboring businesses and of course our clients. So
that's fabulous.
Obviously, it works well for being able to find the location for our clients. Right?
For sure. Another question I had for you. You rent some apartments. How's that going?
Very well, very well. what I do here as well is get the building. We've renovated the inside for the store. Then we move on to the apartment. So as one tenant moves out,
Yeah.
I go in and fix the,
You're a
the
busy
apartment
guy.
up. So yeah, a little bit, yeah.
How are you finding the issue of landlord responsibility for water bills for your tenants?
I hate it.
You-
Hate it. Hate it. Hate it.
No, could you tell me how you feel about it? Step back. I'm not quite clear on how you feel.
Wow, I can't believe you brought up that topic.
It's a fair topic of conversation, don't you think?
Yes, it is. Back in the day when the hydro was looking after it, it was absolutely fine.
Yeah.
City took over, and it's brutal, beyond anything I could ever imagine.
What do you suppose is the reason why it's brutal?
Well, I was told
Is
quite
it a systems thing? Is it an attitude thing? What is it?
It's attitude. I was told point blank, the city doesn't want this. Here's a really good example: is the previous owners had 2 units up there that they lived in themselves. They removed one of the meters because all the water is separately metered right there.
Right there.
They removed one of the meters, joined the 2 together.
Right.
I move in as a new landlord, going, well, wait a minute, let's separate these meters back to the way they originally were,
Right.
so the tenants could be responsible for the own water that they use, rather than me having to charge put it in the rent
Right.
and expect them to waste water.
Right.
Much better to just pay for what you use. I'm thinking from a
Environmental perspective,
yes, not just economy, but environmentally. I go to the city saying, let's put this back to the way it used to be. You can't do that. You can't create any new meters. And I'm just beside myself going, where is the logic in this? We don't want any new accounts. We don't want any more accounts than we already have. We don't want to be in the business of water.
Right.
But you are.
But you are.
You are. Okay,
You don't want to do the job you've been entrusted to do.
correct.
Yeah.
Billing, they're charging me to open an account. They're charging me to close an account. So as a tenant moves in, they're getting billed to start the account. I'm getting billed to stop the account.
Right.
Really? Like, how much does it cost to read a meter once? So that's just double billing, and it's
So it's
Humbly, it's thievery.
I see on your face a blend of comedy and sadness. Very
it's
bad sadness.
so bad. When I contact the city, well, you can't get through to a human.
Yeah.
You're trying to do it through email,
Yeah.
and it's so short. It's so not to. I've actually had a conversation with the workers,
Yes.
that'll come out here,
Sure.
and the concern they've had is the office treats people one way,
Right.
and then when the human actually comes to do the service, they get the attack
Right.
from the way the citizen's been treated by.
How do
by
they
the
feel
office.
about that?
They're not that impressed. So there's definitely some. I thankfully can get it that
Yeah.
the person that's here isn't the person that I was
No.
talking to there, but there's definite need for change.
They're in a tough spot.
Definitely need for change.
Listen, I
that way.
thank you for your time today. It's been great to meet you. Thanks for sharing some of these stories. It'll be
Great to meet
interesting
you,
to
Andrew.
see people's reactions to that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.